Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And sometimes, Matt, I don't like games.
Yeah, sometimes it does happen.
Sometimes games
are better
bad.
than others.
Some are better than others. Some I don't. I just plain despise, and I don't like them. And I don't want to play them. I don't want to spend time on them, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. And what we're talking about today is basically good game versus bad games. What does it mean for us when a game is bad? What does it mean for us when a game is good? And yeah, we've been asked a lot of times, just say, why are you not covering this game? Why are you doing this? There are multiple reasons that we wanted to chat with you about it.
Yeah, this is an important video for us that I think will frame in context as to why we cover what we cover.
Yeah.
And why we don't cover other games.
Yeah.
For example, and to give you a view on where we come from when we create content for you.
Exactly.
I think it's an important one for us.
But to see all the content that is coming out all the time, well, click the subscribe.
You can subscribe, do that, because that doesn't require any view on if games are good or bad.
That is just good.
It's just all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's all good.
Yeah, but after you do that, you wait for the song and then we go.
Let's talk about it.
Rolling dice, feeling nice. Cardboard dreams and game schemes. Click subscribe, it's a vibe. Board Stupid's all we need. Board Stupid, game reviews for you and me. Board Stupid, here's what you should play and see.
Okay, guys. What we wanted to start with is actually to give it some context to this little chat that we're gonna have. And Wayne, let's put some rules. Let's put
some circle around it. So, to get you an idea of what we think is good and or bad, and why we cover and don't cover games, let's tell you about where we come from.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's a good start.
Right, and what we represent as a channel.
Yeah.
First thing I think is worth underlining is that me and Matt are not full time.
No. We do this in our spare time, of that little spare time that we got from very busy jobs. And
exactly, yeah. we are not like other channels. We're not full-time board gamers.
No, that will be a dream one day, maybe.
One day, but that's not where we come from.
No.
So we come from a place of being dudes that have normal jobs with other hobbies.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's important for you to know, and because of that, like most of our amazing subscribers, we give you that opinion from people that have full-time jobs and have other hobbies and have partners and other stuff, and we don't do this all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So I think that is
that
important.
Will reflect our opinion on what we do.
Yeah, no, we're not professional board gamers, if you can even be one.
We're not that.
We're just a couple of dudes that love this this hobby, love the industry, and trying to give a little bit to the industry, because we love being in this.
We like to share the love for it.
Yeah,
we want to evangelize the amazing benefits of board gaming. The other thing that we are not, so we're not professional.
Yeah,
we're not sponsored.
No.
So me and Matt took an early decision. We will never take never do sponsored content that is board game related. You might see us like sell T-shirts on an advert. Fine.
Yeah, because we always find that we want to talk about board games, and it will be unfair to you guys watching it, thinking about, oh, these guys that took money to say that this game is good, or they didn't take money and they're saying the game is not good. We just want to be as independent as possible. Again, we are lucky enough that we got jobs and we don't need the money to come from there. Of course, we will pick review copies that we've been given.
Review copies.
Every time that we get a review copy, it's always like, we're gonna play it, and if we don't like it, we don't like it, and we're gonna play it when we can play it, because a lot of times we receive a lot of stuff all together, and working not even 9 to 5, working 8 till 7 every day. It makes it complicated to play, but we try to push it as much as we can, as giving most of our free time to this project, to this channel.
Exactly. So yes, we do take review copies. Yes, but me and Matt have great jobs. We don't have to take the review copies, and we buy plenty of the games we cover.
Oh yeah, we do buy.
We buy plenty of the games that we cover.
That's our boyfriends are not really happy about it. But
yeah, it is what it is. So that's the things that we are not. In terms of what we are, as said, we are full-time regular dudes that love board games, as you said. but we are also very experienced in the hobby. I have over 20 years in modern board gaming, going back to Ticket to Ride and Pandemic when these games came out. 30 years if you include things like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer, and a lifetime if you include things like family gaming. Matt, you're someone you've been in a long time.
Yeah,
so, and with Faye as well.
It's one of those things that you start doing when you're a kid, a little bit of break when you are 15, 20, but then got back into it with all my shoes basically. And if you count the D&D and Magic and the old stuff, it's a long time.
In my 20s, I was getting into modern board games and I have been hitherto.
Doesn't mean that makes us
doesn't mean we're experts, but just to give you just a little bit of frame of reference and context as to where we come. So we played a bunch of games. So I think that's really important for you to know that where we come from, and that because of this, how we frame our content is around really one important factor, which is
the game needs to be fun. We want to play good games. We want to talk about good games because with the limited time that we got, we find there is no point of just like recording a couple of hours about the games that we didn't like, spending another 3-4 hours editing a content about
to play it numerous times. They were not enjoying it. And then when people say you have to play this game 10 times to enjoy it,
we don't have the time.
And you at home, if you're like us, you don't have the time. You're going to play the game once and be like, I don't like it.
Yeah,
so that's the context that we come from, because we're not professional board
gamers. Exactly. And again, it's always there to give you like our best opinion. If a game is really bad, and we always try to play it with different player counts,
different
3,
different
4,
people,
5 times. And, we don't have that much time to
do it. Something you don't like it, then
it is what it is. But that's why we then don't tend to do much coverage of games that we didn't think they were that good because of the timing.
It's a time sink. So the other thing that we normally consider, as well as how fun it is basically just playability, right? So you might not see massive campaign games, the next big massive campaign game. You might do, but it's less likely that you'll see that on the show.
Yeah,
because playability
because it's more difficult to play. Again, we come from a very different background of which games we like. Because I love the campaign games, but we don't tend to play too many of them just because of the time investment. So I tend to play more like with Faye, with my girlfriend. So
together we won't.
You will find those kind of games in top 5s or top 10s or something like that. But sometimes doing a full review on something like Oddsworn or something like that. It just like if we play 10 hours into the game, you even barely scratch the surface. So we will not give you like a full.
We can't give you a good opinion on that. So, all right, Matt, let's dive into the next section, which is our gaming preferences. Should we do that? So, Matt, we gave the people some context. Where do we come from?
Exactly.
The history, blah blah blah. All the boring jazz.
Yes.
But the important boring jazz. But more excitingly, though, Matt, what about games that you do like? What is it about games specifically? You can have examples or mechanical examples, actual games. What do you like in games that makes you go, I really like this, I want to play it, I want to cover it on the channel?
I think mostly for me it's always like, as you say, like, did I have fun playing it? Beside what genre it is, if it's a heavy Euro game, if it's a light card game or whatever, was it fun?
Yeah.
Was it fun? The next things that probably makes was it fun is like interactivity between players or originality into the mechanics, or seeing how they create the new mechanics or mix and match of the different mechanics. So those are normally the first things that I would think into, like, why do I like this game? But then at the same time, it doesn't need to be like overly complicated, because sometimes like recently we played Battle for Hot. It's a pretty like easy game to play. It's more like a toy game rather than but it's super mega fun. I can't wait to actually play it and do create some content about it. So it's never tied to the, is this a mega heavy or too light?
Yeah, quite right. It's like you said, is it fun? Interactivity. So we come from a place, and I agree with you 100%. For me, when I want to put a game on the show, for whatever purpose, in a list or whatever it is that we do, or a review especially, the level of interactivity is quite important for me too.
Yeah.
And it could be positive interactivity. It could be, blocking style, like OG German style game where block you can't get this, I'll get
drafting
that.
and all that.
Drafting.
But
Could
still,
be
those are
some level of,
interactive.
those levels of interaction. So typically, you won't necessarily see us cover things that are like strictly solo multiplayer solitaire stuff. We might do in some context,
some sort of
in
other
some
stuff.
context, but typically speaking, I mean, I very much like interactivity as
Yeah.
well. I'm a big fan of my choices being meaningful. So when I'm playing games, I like whatever it is that I do. If I've got one turn, one action, whatever it is, I want to go, ooh,
Which one?
which one? And I want I
yeah.
want it to feel like I'm doing something meaningful to the game state.
Yeah.
Either the shared game state or my personal game state. Because there's plenty of games that we've played with those big wide modern style, modern style or older style, where you can do something you have no idea if that's good yet.
Yeah.
You might not know until like 2 hours later. Like I don't know if that's good.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't tell if it was good.
Yeah.
So that kind of feeling. I want to feel like I'm having an impact in my game.
Absolutely.
Either impacting the other players or myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And then the other things would be like, am I thinking about the games when I'm not playing it? Am I waking up the morning after we had a game session and I'm like, oh, I want to play it again? That's normally one of the signs that I'm like, I'm enjoying that, just thinking about what next time that we play, I'm gonna do this. Next time I'm gonna do that. That's normally my sign of like getting really excited about a game. If I woke up the morning after,
me, like, oh, I want to play this. But yeah, that I think when you said about overly heavy rules or overly complicated rules, I think there's an overused word in board gaming design and I suppose journalism parlance, which is elegance.
Yeah,
this game is elegant. Like, but if I boil that down, I like Knizia style games. I'm a big fan of Knizia games.
Elegant.
Yeah, and Kramer and Kiesling style games. Those like relatively small rule set, but actually within that, really nice, deep, interesting choices.
Yeah.
So the game can go deeper than it is wide. So again, generally speaking, my favorite game of all time is Brass Birmingham. It's a broader rule set, but it's still only like 4 pages. It's dense, but it's a deeper game than it is a wide game.
Yeah.
Because everything is strategic, everything kind of interacts, everything makes sense. It's relatively elegant in that way, right? So there's a lot of game in not a lot of rules.
Yeah. But
that's my general preference.
But at the same time, one of my favorite ever is Root. That is the opposite. That is a lot.
That is not necessarily elegant.
So, having like a lot of rules or complicated rules or not, to me, doesn't make the game.
Yeah.
It's always it is easier to start with if the rules are lighter, but I do like. I do get my nose into those very complicated rule books and be like, oh, this looks interesting.
So you raise a good point because, yes, of course, I like the elegance inside of it. But what I also like, and I think what we both really like, and I think you mentioned it just prior, was games that do something very interesting.
Yeah.
Which might be complicated.
Yes. Yeah.
Or it might be very experiential or unique. Like a recent example was Molly House, which is fantastic. We've talked about a couple of times and we might talk about in the future because it is so unique. Or Arcs, or any of those leather games.
Yeah.
These are not easy games. They're not elegant, frankly, but they're interesting. Right?
You're in for a ride. You need to get with the idea of strap in because it's gonna be bumpy.
Absolutely. Other things that I like as well in terms of things that resonate with me is, of course, great production values.
Yeah,
doesn't hurt.
No, I do like.
I know you like a shiny. Matt likes the shiny.
Yeah.
I also like the shiny. I'm a little bit more forgiving of the brown, or like just cubes. But I think these days, especially, there's not much excuse for.
No, to do a good product.
Yeah, you must.
It should be pretty straightforward.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you know, we keep talking about time, set up and tear down. Like it's a small thing. Doesn't impact how I feel about how fun the game is, but it makes it easier to get to the table and play more if it sets up in 5 minutes and comes out in 5 minutes. Just small thing. And the other things for like gaming preferences, Matt. Things that you like generally.
I mean, to be honest, in the recent past, I think so. It's it widened up the type of gaming or my normal experience. Again, if I can get an experience out of the game, I found that is a fantastic thing because
something you can talk about.
yeah, because as well, like a lot of times, even like you know, if you watch a movie, if you watch a Marvel movie or a Star Wars or something like that, you look for that like a little bit of escapism from reality. So if a board game on top of giving me like interesting rules and this and that makes me live an experience, I really enjoyed it. Something like even like Twilight Imperium. Let's talk about like the farm.
Yeah, the extreme
the extreme stuff where you know you're gonna have like tons of rules,
8 hours long,
complicated interaction between a million smaller rules. You spend the day there. If you do something wrong at the start, you might have,
and you're doing the last 4 hours might be very boring.
But at the end of the day, every time we play, there is an experience there. There is a story to be told about it. But the same things goes on the opposite end. Last night we had a play of Flip 7 and it was magical. People were screaming and jumping on the chairs.
It was magical.
One of the best, most fun experiences that I had lately with a game that is basically Uno revised.
Blackjack. Uno Blackjack blend.
So it's not that complicated game, but it was an experience because today we were messaging about it. And in weeks' time, we're gonna still like, do you remember
Rob's
what that
amazing
happened?
comeback. Yeah, which is ridiculous. Stole my victory, Rob.
Yes, you did.
So preferences wise, and hopefully you can boil this down to, is it fun or not? Regardless of the type of game.
Yes.
Is it interesting or not? Does it provide some sort of meaning?
Yeah. And am I spending my money in the right way?
Absolutely.
Because that as well is a thing.
Okay, Matt. So we talked about things that we like and the context.
Yeah.
So let's flip the script and let's talk about bad games.
Yes.
Games the reasons why you don't like certain games or facets of a game that will put you off after playing it. And I'm going to throw one that I know, just from knowing you over the last couple of years, that you hate being bored. You hate waiting.
That is the thing that, the
downtime.
The downtime between turns and the solo, the multi-solitaire stuff, that it just like, it's not for me. I just like, I'll sit down and wait, but it just like, that sucks the fun out for me.
Yeah.
It's just because like I want to see what the other players are doing. I want to understand what they're trying to achieve. I want to see if I can, I don't know,
stop them
or gain from what they're doing. And there are, especially the neuro genre, that there is a lot of downtime within turns, and then if you play with people that has got a little bit like of being AP prone, it just like it started being like a drag.
Yeah.
And then the fun level just go down.
And when that's your main thought and that's what you want to do, you want to have fun playing board games with your friends, it can fall off a cliff. And I'm slightly more forgiving than you, I think, but I still hate what I consider to be excessive downtime. Right, because I can deal with a little bit of downtime, but I feel like if a game design lends itself to waiting a long time while you finish, someone else finishes their turn, I will not. I don't like those games. I genuinely don't like.
Like one of my most hated rule is the one where the last player becomes the one and then goes around in the other way around.
Yeah, so you wait.
So basically, you wait. If you're playing in 4 people, you're waiting 6 turns before playing twice. That is like the downtime. Sometimes you will find me with the phone, like with a timer, checking how much time it goes. Because he was just like, I can't stand it because I want value for my time.
Yeah, that's it, right?
I want value for my time. Yes,
100% with you. Time value proposition is super important to us, I think.
Yeah.
I'll put that all of that in a bubble, and I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, I don't like those kind of small, could be small, could be big actually, but those games which are essentially just take that in a card game form, or take that in a board game form. And take that is a mechanism where a player will do something, it will negatively impact you, and there is nothing you can do about it. And that's the game. The game is that, and it is various forms of that.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't.
It's the +4 cards in Uno.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like-
that and there are billions of games that do that.
Yeah.
And when we talk about this, is my complex relationship with some other games like letter game stuff, like things like Arcs, which is I have a complex relationship with that game, has take that in it, and it's the thing I hate the most about that game.
Yeah.
Is where are you going to do this? You can steal this thing. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, screw me for
Yeah.
so like, and so here's the thing. Yes, that's interaction, but I don't think that's enjoyable interaction.
Yeah.
So, other people will disagree. They love that.
But if
for
it's
like
part of a large
if it's much more wider whole,
thing, like in
if
Arcs,
it's a small
in
bit,
Arcs that happens, but that is not the game.
I can swallow it.
Yeah.
If the game is that,
it's just that,
or a lot of it is that,
Yeah.
I'm not interested, frankly.
Fair enough.
I'm also not massively keen on anything that has loads and loads of randomness. I like my games to have
A
either
little bit, yes.
more strategy, more tactical, more deterministic than not. Randomness is fine, but I like the OG German style randomness where it's before your decision making as opposed to after your decision making.
Yeah, but I do instead enjoy the American style of sometimes just chucking dice and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just want a lighter experience,
Or
a
it makes more
different,
drama, right? There's
yes,
something
it
to be said for better
yeah.
storytelling when it happens after
Yeah.
your decision. Because will I do it? Let's see.
Yeah,
And
but
then
that is very much again on up from the Dungeons and Dragons background,
Correct.
where
Yes,
you roll
yes,
your
yes.
D20. It might be a success, or it might die of impaled by your own sword. So you just roll it and and see what happens basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also not a massive fan, Matt, of just if you're gonna give me 3 rule books in the box and I need to know them all. There are exceptions, but here's an example. When we went to Spiel,
Yeah.
and I think we were both very excited about Speakeasy,
Oh yes.
and then you went to watch Vital Lacerda teach it, and about 10 minutes in you went,
not for me. I'm sure it's an
amazing game.
the most amazing game ever, but not for me. Because I was literally just I was crying blood, basically. I was just I was just I
thesis
can't. Yeah,
like-
there was so much, and probably listening during an expo is not the right place at the right time. But I would just say, oh my god, this is it's too much. I can't do it. But again, that is probably me and you. There's a lot of guys out there that love that type of complexity into a game, and there is nothing wrong about
No.
it. That's absolutely, because we do play those complex games. We stick our nose into the rule book. We read it all. We play it and we talk about it. They're probably not our favorite games, but we can't say that it's a bad game.
Yeah, some of these are great games.
I will revert back to something more simple, like what we really hate is a bad rule book.
Bad rule books.
Where you start reading it top to bottom, and then you go, okay, let's try to play, and it's just like, wait, what
Falls apart at the seams.
where is this, or where is that, or
This was in a-
missing, that was just horrible. We had an experience lately.
Living Forest Duel.
We're Living Forest Duel, where someone from the publisher trying to explain the game, and they were like,
They were struggling with it.
no,
Like,
this
you're struggling
rulebook
with
is
it?
rubbish.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right.
That was
Yeah.
like,
And we've heard interesting things about the Transgalactica rulebook and other rulebooks that we've played as well, which is we don't have the time. So go on
Yeah.
BGG and find out all of the problems
Yeah.
and to try and learn the rules. If it can't come out of the box and we know how to play it from the books, then it's going to be a problem, right? So there's 2 extremes there. And we talk about on the channel, we have kind of 3 axes when we talk about complexity, right? Or heaviness and weight.
heaviness, yeah.
You've got depth, then you've got width, and then you've just got complicated, which is its own axis.
Yeah.
And complicated is just how many rules are there in the book, which sometimes is just too
Yeah, because if you
Too many.
need to keep like reading the rule book,
takes the fun away and slows it down. Right?
My point is, in this like long and complex games, that is like a 4 or 5 hours
Yeah.
every time, right? Unless you play it like 10 times, you will not remember all those rules, and you will always go back to the rule book. Now, my question for you guys is like, how many of these 5 hours games do you play in 3 months to then really remember all the rules?
Yeah.
We don't. We got like, I don't know, 3 times in 3 months. It's never enough to learn all the rules or to learn the rules interactions or all the stuff. So you're constantly reading the rule book or asking, what was this? What was that? And then it takes the pounds out because it's just like it's.
I don't like if I have to reference a book every other turn. It does drive me crazy. And if there's like a million icons. I mean, icons is fine, but if it's,
No, but there are some games like, I don't know, we recently played Lutia quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a complex game that we never go back to check on the rules.
because the iconography is clear, the UX is great.
And the idea behind the rules it all makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was a great example of a good design game. Matt, is there anything else you want to talk about for elements that don't resonate with you in terms of gaming?
Well, when I see the sum of the production, absolutely.
So flip sides to good production,
Yeah.
I mean, there is, like we said, these days it's kind of sad in a way, but that is how your game will stand out, which is good production. And if it's bad, then it's a bad first impression.
But sometimes you pay a premium for a premium game, you open the box and you're just like, this is a piece of an A4 piece of paper that is gonna break in no time, or where there's no insert. Wow, do I just need to throw everything into a box? That's now literally like, oh, can please someone. When a lot of people, like a lot of publishers, put inserts into the box, but sometimes you don't know what goes where. You
give me a guide, like an A4 page.
Yeah, they say this goes here, this goes there, this goes there. Just please, that is more for my mental health, right? Than anything else.
Cool. So I think we talked about most of those things just in general, and to round up, we don't like solitary experiences. We want the themes to really engage with the interaction. So one more thing, actually. Ideally, if there is a theme in the game, I'd like it to be interwoven into the mechanisms as best as it can.
Yeah.
I've played plenty of like abstract style games and games where the theme doesn't really matter, and that's cool. I'm fine with that. But if there is a theme,
I think that's more
that
is more in the positive things. If the theme and the mechanics are
closer together,
that is a big
if
plus.
not meh, but it needs to be. I'd rather be in there.
So when people watching us will be like, all right, you talked about this, you talked about that, but what are you even talking about?
Why is it important? Why does it matter?
Why should I keep watching for another few minutes?
Okay, well, because it's a great question, and importantly, it is important. And it's important to understand that knowing our likes and dislikes will help you interpret our reviews and why we cover or don't cover, and why we cover what we cover.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I need to add here that sometimes we don't cover games that we like simply because we didn't have the time to do it. So that put that one on the side as well, because there's a lot of games that we loved and we didn't have time, or again, that goes down to a timing thing. We will try to insert those games here and there when we can, but it's not always possible. But there is tons of games that we never mentioned on the channels that we love. But if you haven't heard about something, probably just because it wasn't not of our like.
There we go.
Yeah.
And there's various avenues that we might feature. We won't review every game that we play. Some that we will put in maybe top lists, some that we'll put in the Board Stupid show as like more of a roundup or a discussion piece, and then we'll think about if we want to review it in the future. So we'll pick the avenue generally depending on our feelings of the game.
And most of the time we kind of like try to listen to your feedback, or when you ask us on the video, like, oh, can you review this, or why haven't you reviewed that, why you haven't reviewed that, Well, listen and,
And we'll try and
go
tell you.
out and buy
And
the
we'll
game.
try and buy it, or we'll buy it and we'll play it.
And, except, for example, Andromeda's Edge. You guys asked for it. I bought
Matt
a
literally
copy.
books it.
We
waiting to
still
be
haven't had time to sit down.
It's in the queue. It's in the queue.
But we'll get there. But we'll
Absolutely.
get there.
So, and also it's important because that our personal preferences and where we come from and our context shapes our experience of gaming, right? And it shapes how we describe those games to you, and so will yours. And so you need to consider, like, do you vibe with us? And do you think you have similar experiences and background and context to us? In which case, awesome, and I hope that we give you lots of great value and that our recommendations sing to you, and then when you buy games that we like, that you also like them. But you know,
it doesn't mean that
we're not
it's
the
the truth.
experts.
There is no true. It's what we tell you is our opinion, our ideas, and
From our context.
what we think is fun, and give you an extra voice to listen and make your own judgment. I mean, if you like pineapple on pizza, probably we can't be friends, but it doesn't mean that you're wrong.
Doesn't mean that you're wrong.
I mean, yeah, you're wrong.
But also wrong. But like, you know, that's the dice tower is not the truth. Shut up and sit down are not the truth. These are just different avenues.
We're not the truth. No one is the truth. It's but it's good that there are so many avenues where people can pick up and listen and just like.
You need to understand your own context and find the people that are aligned with that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So it's and we are the first one to watch all those channels because we love what
we're fans of the show, so we want to watch those shows. Okay, Matt. So I think it was a really fun discussion, frankly. It's an important one to have, and it's important for our subscribers to understand where we come from. For all of those reasons that we talked about, and that is, you know, totally fine to have different tastes. Give you an example, we did a video review of SETI, and we went, better than Ark Nova, better than Terraforming Mars.
Yeah.
And there were so many comments on that video hating me.
It's not true.
You're so wrong. I'm like,
well, good. That's
fine.
fine.
Good.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: I had more fun playing SETI than those other games, and that's when you understand our context. That's our main consideration. Is how much fun did we have?
Yeah, exactly.
That is it. So yeah, there are some other things, but that is the main and overarching one, and that's different for you. Then that's different for you. It's okay to have a different taste.
But it's like there are many games that me and Wayne I really like and Wayne less, and
vice versa.
Games that he really likes, and I'm like, meh, I'm not really sure about it. So if we have in contrast, and it's just two of us, like I can't even imagine like with like
everyone
5,000 people on the channels. So the contrast is a lot, but that is the beauty of an hobby, because it's like music. Someone likes the heavy metal, someone's like classic, someone's likes the 80s pop. Like, fair enough. It just everyone's got his own thing, and you like whatever you want.
Yeah, the most important thing is finding games that you enjoy, and the most important thing for us is telling you about games that we enjoy, in the hopes that you also enjoy them.
Exactly. Give you an idea, give you something to think about, some food for thoughts. Or trying to tell you, maybe if you like us, what we normally say, you probably would like to invest money and time in this or that title.
Exactly that.
And on top of that, I want to add that we, if you're watching so far, we haven't named as any single game, any single
only
bad
one or
game.
two, but not really bad games.
And there is a reason why, because we don't think that is important.
No.
It's not important to tell you, oh, this game is bad, or that game is bad. Because again, what is bad for us, it might not be bad for you, but we just want to give you the idea of what we could think that a game is good or bad. Yeah,
and as we said at the start and at the jump, we don't spend our energy and time talking about things we don't enjoy.
Yeah, we love games, we love fun games.
So that's it. So we'd love you to let us know in the comments below, what are the types of games that you do and don't enjoy?
Yeah.
Is there anything that vibes with us, that vibes with you? Anything you picked up recently that you liked?
Or you hate anything we say?
We said, like, then let us know.
Go down there, just like comment away.
You probably get banned, but no, I'm kidding.
No, it's Wayne reads every single comment.
I read every and reply to every single comment. So take a look at that.
Go mental, because it's all on him.
It's all on me. That just does the edit. So please do that. Let us know what you think, and does our context and background vibe with yours? Is our approach right? Should we be doing more negative inverted commas reviews? Another thing I just want to mention here at the end is I always see like lots of negative reviews and comments going, "Oh, I love this because it's so honest." But why can't positive reviews be honest?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be negative to be inverted commas honest?
Yeah, because it's very likable, clickable when a rant or someone just
I
being
hate this so
negative.
much, and I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking about why it sucks.
Yeah, but that's not us. I
It's
think
just
that's
not us.
just not us.
And that doesn't mean that that particular channel is any more honest than this
Oh, no,
particular
absolutely.
channel.
Yeah,
Because we are talking about things we like as opposed to things we don't, and that is basically it. But let us know if you need more critical content from us on what avenue we should maybe do that in.
Exactly. And go check all the Patreon, actually.
Absolutely. If you do want to see a rant, it's probably going to be on the Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. Because we do some special exclusive content where it's more like video podcasts, me and Wayne, and we have guests.
Couple of friends and guests,
coming out, and we chat about this or that. A lot of like the state of play kind of
Or
stuff.
topical,
topical things, or
with
interviews
designers.
with designer, with publisher. So go have a look. There is already a lot of stuff on that, and we keep adding to that. Otherwise, the subscription, the subscribe button, not the subscription. That is a subscription, but
The subscribe button.
The subscribe button is free, and
free.
it's always there, and give us a lot of joy every time one of you pushes it.
Thank you so much. Other than that, you can binge watch the rest of our content, and we'll see you at the next one.
Ciao.
What's to be, game reviews for you and me. What's to be, here's what you should play and see.